And what you just got to witness, too bad I didn't get to come on an hour before, we just had a simultaneous break. And what that means is, if you go to the SPY, you're going to see this. Lower left. The inside 60, right? And this is important because it was an outside bar, then an inside bar. Right? So what that means is the participants were willing to pay up and sell down and then met in the middle. And when this breaks either side of this inside bar, the target is to either take that or that out. And it did. So now you got a new 60, and almost everything did that. So I want to start off with our monthlies again. Remember, outside month, right? Here on the SPY, QQQ. And then we've been watching for what? Dow Jones Diamonds to do that as well. Did they? Did. All right, so they took care of that. So it's important to understand an outside bar. Once it's an outside bar, that can't change. And so you have a broadening formation. So the question is now, do we get back into that? So if you go to the daily SPY here, all right, you'll see yesterday was an outside day. And now we're trying to come back into that, all right? And so what you're going to see here is this, like that, and here, all right? Now, how do you get out of this thing here? Because here's your outside bar in a different time frame, right? Here's your inside. Now you got a new 60. So now we don't know because there's a lot of no man's land kind of stuff out of there. But if you were with me yesterday, how about that SPI yesterday, huh? Remember that? Here's that inside 60. Not bad. Anyway, that thing's drying up now. So the good thing about a simultaneous break, when all these 60s are breaking in the same direction, right, is that tells you can also look around for other things that might be a little more volatile, like NKLA. Here. So you can see this. Down, inside, reversal here, above 1906, and goes up to 20 and change here. And that's not bad for an hour's work on a percentage basis. And NVAX, anything that's moving around pretty nicely. And you can see this here. Above 102.31 in the next hour, hit a high of 107.19. That's not bad. But now you can see why I talk about this all the time. Right, especially from the time when I come on, right? New 60s, right? So, once again, the magnitude on this is just to take out either side of the outside bar, which it did, right? And then you get a new 60, and now we don't know. And you can see already starting to drop back in. Another way that you want to use a combination to get in on something like this is you can wait for a shorter term reversal. And what I mean by that is once it broke, it came back in, and then inside 5. And this is a 2, 1, 2 reversal continuation back into the direction of that 60. Now you can see here, do we look for these? What is this? The inside bar, and then the takeout one side, RevStrat 5er right on the flip, right exactly on the new 60. Can you see that? Right? And there's your tone change, right, to start the new hour. So things are going to keep changing and chopping back and forth. Until we can get out of that 60. How are we going to get outside of this thing? Right now you can see this. Stop out the tight stops against these guys and now dropping back in. So we'll see how bad they want to hit them. If you go to SMH, and SMH was your winner in the beginning because it was too strong and started coming back here. So the question is, are we going to be strong enough to go outside days on all this stuff, or are we going to start to fail again? So like we just did on this here. So we did have LRCX. And LRCX, you can see right out the chute. Here on that 60, right? It goes outside day in the upper left, right? So in the upper left, you're going to see this. Gap opens on the low and starts racing through here. That's going to be an outside day, right? Look at this. And on the 60, once you get back into here, that's going outside on the 60 at least. And if you're lucky, you get all this kind of meat here because it's reconfirming what we knew about here in the upper middle, which is still inside weak to the upside, right? And that's how you can watch the SMHers all together. You had, let's see, KLAC. Keeping one eye on here to see how hard they want to hit these things. KLAC. Trying to get me the outside day. What's that? 186.33. Just came up shy, so we'll see if it can still take that out, if that's right. 186.62. No, it did it. It took the outside right here. You see this? Boom. This needs to be redrawn. There we go. So you get your outside day and it's taking out last week's high. So we'll see. Like oftentimes they burn up a lot of steam doing this right out the chute. And as you can see right now, some of these things backing off. AMD and AMD here. You can see what happens when it doesn't get out of there, right? So what do I mean by that? So here, blow this up for you. You can see it was an outside bar, then an inside bar, and it broke, but it couldn't get outside of the Muller bar. Right, that's a problem. It wasn't strong enough with the others to try and to be able to make it. So then it sets up this potential reversal here, the inside bar, the poke up, and then back down here below 76.27. It's there right now. We'll see if there's any more puking on that. If these futures keep coming in, or is just a little 5-minute break here on the flip. We'll see. Nvidia. And NVIDIA did what it was supposed to do, right? So understanding magnitude is very important, right? So you didn't have too much magnitude, but it did it. And so what that means is once it gets up in here and gives you any sign of trouble, dump it. Right? You can just dump it up into here. Just take your money. If we go to EXAS. EXAS came firing off some news here, and so we'll see down here when it happened. It's a little tricky on this one, but once it took off, you had an inside 5 right here. Right here. That's above 88.84. Now you can see the slight higher high, and now coming in to try and go the slight lower low to see if this sets up again, because on the 3-minute, you also had this poke down. This is a 2 down even though it's green, and that's an inside 3-minute. So right now, we'll see if this is going to give us, okay, slight higher high, slight lower low. So in the next hour, right, we got some time on this, but in the next hour, we want to see if it can break back above this, depending on where this closes. Above 92.47 for the 2-2-2 continuation, but we'll see. You're watching these futures soften up still. If we go to OLED, and OLED backing off now. So we're seeing before if it strengthens here to try and give an outside day, but that's not going to do it. These things still coming in on the flip, and I can't stress this enough. Every 60 is like a new day, right? So last hour, almost nothing hitting new lows. Right now, a little bit different of a ball game, which I'll get to in a second. You got DRI, and DRI takes care of business. Here's that inside 60, right there. Boom. Right. What does that do? It gives you the outside weak up in here in the upper middle. SPY still coming in on this off the flip. TWLO, and TWLO gives you the outside day, right? And so there's your magnitude, and you can see that in the outside day is going to be a broadening formation on a shorter time frame, correct? It is. And there it is. All right, now see if we can get out of there. Took last week's highs out. But watching these futures start to deteriorate again, and we got NVTA. And NVTA getting closer to that outside day, but once again, on that flip, starting to come in. We'll see if we can get another 60 out of that. SPY still dropping from the flip. And this is why you want to, when things occur matters, right? So last hour, we wouldn't have taken this because we would be looking to buy, right? If anything, we would have bought on this 5 up. But because you're coming into a new 60, then you can take it because it's a 5-minute signal right with the new 60, which changes back to red, you see? Okay, just want to be very clear about that. Yeah, Tesla. And Tesla did its job coming back up on here. I was at 30. Here's what we look for, right? Right here, you can take this as the reversal, but when it comes in, you just get out, right? And then you could hit this because it's another reversal, but if it comes back in, just get out. And a lot of people won't be able to do this, but when it takes this and doesn't come in, you're in. Tesla was seeing pretty big distance to go outside day, so I'm a little skeptical on that one. If we go to Goldman Sachs, believe it or not, Goldman Sachs is fighting back here a little bit, and still inside month to the downside, so not our total drug of choice here, but one of the things you want to look for on the daily is when the market dropped the way it did on the opening and starts to recover, anybody taking out yesterday's highs. Why? The guys who were short Goldman Sachs got what they wanted. The market's tanking, right? But when it takes this out, anybody who got short yesterday gets carried out, and we know they'll go underwater above 192.91, right? Perfect, right? You buy it right there. You can see this here, 192.91, boom, right there. If we go to, we got some shenanigans going on. We'll see if anything comes out of these guys. That's UNW. And let's see, see if any of these guys can muster anything. This just went inside 60 down. PECK, P-E-C-K. Here, now trying to go 222 on the 60 right here. How's that 30? There you go. You see this? There's a reversal right on the flip. Right? They bring it up, they come down. 2-2 reversal right here. Boom, over 709. Trading 922 in what? 11 minutes? Not bad. Pola. And this thing's still dropping and coming in. So we had some of the big boys start to come in a little bit here on the opening, but we'll see. Zoom. And Zoom, I talk about exhaustion risk. Anytime you're going into new highs, the buyer's got to step up, continue to step up, which they had. If you go to the upper left here, they've been doing that. And then today, what's this? Right here. That's a 2-2 reversal here, below 483.25. Right, it's trading 470. And if you go to a 15-minute, you're going to see this right here. The inside 15. Look at this. In 15 minutes, once it broke 490.73, in 15 minutes it went down to 470. You like that? 20 bucks in 15 minutes? I do. And now we wait for the what? Triangle the out and the new 60. So this is open as an inside 60, but if you go to your 30, you're going to see this. The 2-2 reversal back down after stopping these guys out and trying to drop back in here. So we'll see what comes of that. If you go to Peloton, also had an exhaustion risk. We talked about this, right, on the weekly. 2 up, down, and then taking out the highs, but then we don't know. Then you go into exhaustion risk. And then what happened? You see this, upper left, the inside bar, the poke up into the highs to triangle the out, and the rev strat reversal. So now, once again on the 30, right on the new 60, do you see this? Take out the high, boom, your reversal back down on the 30 here, below 92.68, right? So like I said, like I always say, all this stuff's going to be very repetitive. So, you know, it's not that hard to find. So, you know, Boeing, we had some pandemics having some problems here. Boeing still puking, and you can see that red on all time frames. And then here, take out some highs, take out some lows on the 30, below 146.23. There's another, you know, another winner that you can just start banking. BDX here, the outside bar month, still going to the downside, right? That's a range expansion on both sides and then continuing to expand, still puking. And then here, stop them out. The 2 up, the 2 down, the 2 up, 222 continuation here. Below 224.51, trading 220.27, and then you can once again get on that 30, take out the highs, and then the 2-2 reversal back here on the 30 below 220.59. See if we can get any more of that. We have the War Machine's having some problems here too, LMT, and a little bit better on the 30, so we'll see. But here, on the daily, you can see this. They take out the highs and then went boom, here right on the opening, and take all these guys out. Then we don't know, right? Because we know there's stops here, here, and here, and that's where they all went underwater. And then they got to stay down, right? And right now it's trying to pop up. You can watch it out, Northrop Grumman, all that kind of good stuff. If we go to RAD, and this does its job. Now it's starting to come back, and you'll hear me say this oftentimes. Like, we want to go back to a previous range. So you're going to see this. We call that the pivot machine gun. This thing gaps down, and anybody long against any of this stuff just got wiped out in one shot, right? That gives you the outside weak in the upper middle. If we go to CarMax trying to come back here. Whoop, no flip. So here, CarMax gets creamed, and then you can take this because it was on the flip, you see? And it goes back up, and now you got a new one. And this is why you want to watch that flip. Right there. Boom. Straight back down. All right. We'll see how this plays out here. Once again, let's get to that SPY. Here, and you can see that 15er right on the flip dumps back down here. The 2-2 reversal on the 15-minute. So I'm going to keep watching the motion of the ocean here and how we can get out of this stuff. Maybe form some more inside 60s. As always, my Smith & Black channel videos are always free, so come and check it out. All right, that's going to do it for Dan Ruff with the Smith & Black channel here. Ticker Talker with the Strat Time Report.